This one was a fun one. I just started painting. I didn't know what I was going to end up with, and I really like it. So first I flicked some dark blue particles onto it that was kind of concentrated, and then did some water and then let it dry. Then I did some aquamarine blue and just kept messing with it. Like, maybe I want little splashes. No, I want more water. And I kept adding water and a little more color. And then eventually I just kind of brushed all over it and spread it out. Then I added some salt to try and make it dry in a cool pattern, and we have the wrong type of paper. It doesn't really work much, but you can still add some salt, do a tiny bit. Then I kept adding more, did some just drops of water on top. Then I got some lime green and kept getting water on it and smacking the brush over it. And then I added a lot more salt, and then I let it dry all the way. Now this is me brushing off the salt. You can barely even see what it did. But if you're in person, it kind of sparkles a tiny bit. Kind of gives it that sandy look. Look really close, you can see it. So next I had to decide what I was going to put over it. I decided I wanted to do a word. So I looked online and found something that I thought I liked, and then I just looked at the picture and kind of sketched it on. But you probably want to measure your painting where you want it to go, and print off the word in the size that you want, and then you can flip it over on the back on the side that doesn't have the word and just scribble all over it with your pencil so it's all over. Then set it down softly on your paper right where you want it, and then trace pretty firmly around all of the outsides of the letters, and then it will leave an imprint of the word, like the outlines that you need to paint in between on your painting. And then you can look at it and carefully paint it in. I'll include a link in the instructions below on how to do that. As you're going along filling in the paint on the words where you traced it, make sure you keep the edges wet of where you're still going. So in some parts I'm going darker and lighter, but I still kind of want it to bleed together like it's all one thing. So especially on part like with this E, I'm going up at the top and back down to the bottom, keeping the edges wet as much as I can so it still bleeds together, so I don't get any harsh lines on the letters themselves. On the L here, I accidentally made a mistake. I didn't pay attention to where the line went up to the L from the E, and where the loop on the L went down. See how they're not quite lined up? I had to go back at the very end and fix it so that they line up like it kind of looped around and they connected right. So pay attention as you're going. Just look back at it and make sure things are connecting where they should. If you weren't able to keep both sides wet as you're going, you can get a little bit of water on your paintbrush and just kind of rub it until it's not quite such a harsh edge, and you can start bleeding into it again. I've been dipping my brush into the water every now and again just to keep the paint wet as I'm going to. You can turn the paper sideways and stuff if you need to, like I've been doing, so it's easier to make straight lines with your wrist. Carefully finish it up, let it dry, and throw it up in your living room or bathroom and relax.